Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to go over what I think are the best weapons in Warzone and give my loadouts for them. With the recent nerf to the Bruen, the Warzone meta has been in a bit of a flux with people not knowing if the Bruen is still good or what weapons they should be using. So I'm going to go over what I think are the best weapons, my loadouts for them, and all of that stuff. If you guys do find this video helpful or informative, please remember to give it a like and subscribe if you would like to see more Warzone content from me. So I play Warzone a lot, but I also paid pretty close attention to the two most recent tournaments this week, Swag's Summer Invitational and this week's Teeps Trials. Obviously these are kill tournaments and they might not always be the best way to determine who the best players are, but in these tournaments you have many of the largest and best Warzone players competing for kills. So obviously they're going to use what they think are the best loadouts. And these are all guys that play the game an absurd amount and just grind the heck out of the game. So they'll know what the best guns are. And a majority of the weapons that they were using were the ones used by other players. So it seems like these are pretty likely to be the best weapons in the game. For ranged fights, there was three main guns that players were using: the Bruen, the Kilo 141, and the CR-56 AMAX. I didn't see an absurd amount, but there were some players using the CR-56, and I tried it out, and I actually really liked it. For the Bruen, people use Monolithic Suppressor, the XRK Summit Barrel, the VLK 3X, TAC Laser, and the 60-round mag. With the recent nerf, the Bruen isn't as good as it once was, but it's still a very good weapon, and it's still a very easy to use weapon. They nerfed the range on it, but since the Bruen has such low recoil, it's still insanely good because adding a bullet or two to kill at range doesn't really change things too much because of how accurate the gun is. If they hit the range and added recoil, I doubt we would see the Bruen as much as we are today. But since they only hit the range and the recoil makes it to where you can make up for that range nerf pretty easily, just such an easy gun to use, I think the Bruen will still be used for a little while, or a good time to come until they nerf it again or buff something else maybe. For the Kilo 141, I use Monolithic Suppressor, the 19.8 Prowler Barrel, the Commando foregrip, 50-round mag, and the VLK 3X. The Kilo is my personal favorite weapon in the game. I don't use the Bruen too much anymore. I split most of my time between the Kilo and the CR-56. But the Kilo is insanely accurate. It's got a good fire rate. It also has really high bullet velocity, so it feels like basically hit scan all the time you're using it. Just another really easy to use weapon and a really consistent weapon. And in Warzone, having something that's really consistent and really easy to use and really adaptable for multiple fights is really valuable. So I really like the Kilo. Most of my recent high kill games have been with the Kilo. The CR-56 I haven't used as much, but I started using it today, and the first two games I used it, I got back-to-back 15 kill wins in solos. It's a very good gun, and it's a very satisfying gun to use because it hits harder. A majority of the weapons in Warzone have just been high fire rate, low damage, low recoil weapons. You have the Growl. The Bruen hit pretty hard, but even the Bruen isn't the hardest hitting thing in the world. It's just really accurate. The Kilo, really accurate, really high fire rate. The M4 when it was dominant. All of these guns don't feel as satisfying to use to me as the CR-56 does. I really like the feel of this gun, and I was winning a lot of gunfights with this gun that I don't think I would have won with other weapons. For the CR-56, I use the Monolithic Suppressor, the Zodiac Barrel, the VLK 3X, the Merc foregrip, and the 45-round mag. Definitely recommend you try this one out. It hasn't been getting as much attention as the Bruen or the Kilo, but I think in a few weeks, people you'll see this gun more and more in Warzone. The M4 is also used a decent amount, but I don't think it's the best gun in the game. It's still quite good, and it's just really versatile and really adaptable. For the M4, I use the Monolithic Suppressor, the Corvus Custom Barrel, TAC Laser, Commando foregrip, and the 50-round mag. The M4 is good because you can make it work with anything. I'm going to talk about a shotgun later on, and with that loadout, I use the M4. It could be used with a sniper quite well. It could just be used for a variety of things, and it can fill a lot of needs in your loadout. So the M4 is a decent weapon to talk about, even though it's not the best gun in the game anymore, in my opinion. I would rather use the Kilo or the CR-56 for those more long-range fights. So that's going to be it for my ranged weapons. For pretty much all of these weapons, I like to use the VLK 3X if I am going to use a sight. But you'll see some streamers and some players prefer the holographic sights, especially if they have the blue dot unlocked. And that's fine. Sights mostly come down to preference. You should just use whatever you're comfortable with. The VLK is my personal favorite sight, but if you like the holographic, whatever feels good to you is what you should use on your weapon. For close range, players were pretty much only using the MP5 or the FAMAS with the underbarrel shotgun attachment. But since the FAMAS with the underbarrel shotgun attachment is going to be patched, I didn't really want to talk about it too much in this video. But I am going to talk about another shotgun that I think is quite good and will see more and more use once the FAMAS gets nerfed like it will. So for the MP5, I run monolithic integral suppressor, collapsible stock, tac laser, 45 round mag, and the Merc foregrip. Pretty basic loadout with the MP5, nothing too crazy. But the MP5 is just such a consistent and like versatile SMG. You could use something like the Fennec, it's quite good, but it's really niche. Like you need to be really up close. The MP5 is just like perfect pretty much all of the time. And until they nerf it, I don't think another sub is going to take over. The MP5 has been the dominant SMG for the entire time that Warzone has been out. And I think the MP5 will continue to be the most dominant SMG for like the entirety of Warzone. It's way too good and way too like just consistent and reliable and easy to use. It has like everything going for it. And that's why I think players like the MP5. The shotgun that I think could see a lot of use going forward is the Origin with choke barrel, forge tack impaler, the 5 milliwatt laser, the no stock attachment, and 12 round mags. This thing's a beast. Obviously, there is an Origin floor loot, so people are being more and more exposed to it. But I think once the FAMAS shotgun gets nerfed, people are going to be trying out other shotguns. And the Origin is insanely good, and it dumpsters people. It's really good at getting rid of campers playing weird, which is something that a lot of people have problems with in Warzone. This is mainly if I'm going to use the Origin, I end up using an M4 with it just because I want something that's a little more versatile. My Kilo, my CR-56, and my Bruen, those are more like extreme long-range weapons, and I like the MP5 with those because the MP5 can do a little bit of mid-range. It's not like if you get caught off guard with the MP5 out, you're just screwed. But if you have the shotgun out and someone catches you off guard and they're not in range of the shotgun, that's probably a fight you're going to lose. But I think once the FAMAS is nerfed, the Origin is going to be a top tier weapon in Warzone, and it's going to be a weapon that a lot more players try out and gravitate to because they've been using it as floor loot. It's insanely powerful there. And with the FAMAS shotgun being very popular recently, I think people are really going to like see the value of a shotgun in Warzone, and they're going to start using the Origin. Obviously, Aiden has been using this for a long time and has made several videos on it. If you want to watch those, that's where I got this loadout from. This is Aiden's Origin loadout, but I think it's quite good and it's quite fun to use. And it's just something different to use because lots of us have been using the MP5 for the entire time that Warzone has been out. So that's going to do it for this video. Like I said before, I think the Kilo, the CR-56 are probably my two favorite guns in the game right now. The Bruen is still quite good if you want to use it. The M4 is always going to be a piece of this game probably. It's just way too versatile and way too easy to use to not be. Same with goes for the MP5. It's just the perfect SMG. And if you want to try out a shotgun, the Origin is very good. So hope you guys found this video helpful or informative. Comment down below what you think of these weapons, if you've tried any of them, any of that stuff, if you have your own loadouts for them. And I will see you guys another time. Thanks for watching. Because obviously the MP5 is going to be much better for up close, but like it wouldn't let me because of the animation. There's a guy in the window.
Losing ground.
I'm worried about the side. That guy's going to get the res. They're fighting again. Last guy's up here, I think. This is not good. He knows where I am. I don't really have other cover I can use. And he does.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
Nice, we just gotta bait out one sniper shot there.
Gas is inbound. Primary objective complete. Good work out there.
That back-to-back 15 killed once with the AMAX. That's another fight there where like that fight and the fight where the guy was up on top of me. I feel like the AMAX is so much better than the Kilo. The Kilo is very good, don't get me wrong. But like the AMAX puts people down.